Welcome to the Megacast. I'm Tyler Keefe in the studios of our flagship stations, 89.3 Lakes FM and Civic Center TV, on Comcast Channel 15 and AT&T Channel 99. You can also find us in the Birmingham-Bloomfield area, on Birmingham Area Municipal Access, and on City Cable 15 of Southfield. Join us live on Channel 10 in Waterford every day on the Media Network of Waterford, and live to tape on Channel 10 in Orion Township in Lake Orion on Orion Neighborhood Television, or ONTV. You can also find us on the radio in the Birmingham, Bloomfield, and Troy areas on the Biff Radio Network of service of the Bloomfield Hills School District. Find us online on our Facebook pages at Civic Center TV 15 and at Lakes FM, on our website at civiccentertv.com, and on My Michigan TV, or MyMy, at mymytv.com, where you can also learn more about downloading their free smart TV and smartphone apps at mymytv.com, or by searching My Michigan TV on your favorite app store. All that information is on our website, civiccentertv.com/megacast, where you can also find all of our programs on demand and each individual interview as well. Then let's head over to our news page, our brand new news page over at civiccentertv.com/local news. It used to be our coronavirus page. We're transitioning that over to our local news page. Don't worry, if you want to go back and read articles from previous editions of the Megacast dating all the way back to our first programs in March of 2020, you can still do that at civiccentertv.com/coronavirus. But for now on, for these programs each week, we're going to be posting our new articles, making headlines for each individual show and for the shows that week at civiccentertv.com/local-news. That's local-news. civiccentertv.com/local-news, or by going to our website at civiccentertv.com and clicking on local news, where we have links to the most up-to-date information on COVID-19 from reliable expert resources at the CDC, the MDHHS, and the Oakland County Health Division, so that you can stay up to date on everything that you need to know about the spread of COVID-19, precautionary tactics such as masking, as well as vaccinations and booster shots. Also on our news page at civiccentertv.com/local-news, we feature articles from many journalistic outlets throughout the state of Michigan in order to keep you updated on COVID-19 and other stories making headlines in the Great Lakes state. Our top story today is from the Detroit Free Press. Abortion rights protesters gathered in downtown Detroit yesterday and vow more marches are coming. Mirroring protests nationwide, about 100 demonstrators gathered at 5 p.m. Tuesday outside the U.S. courthouse in downtown Detroit to shout slogans and hold signs in favor of preserving abortion rights. Quote, "My body, my choice, my country, my voice," and closed quote, came through a bullhorn by Miranda King, a 27-year-old of Detroit, who said she was one of the organizers. King said, quote, "A giant text chain," and closed quote, was sent to cell phones across the country from a group called Rise Up for Abortion Rights, triggering protests in Detroit and numerous other cities and other sites throughout the U.S. Quote, "How do I get on that?" And closed quote, said John Conyers III, asking King. Conyers is running for the 13th district seat in Congress, hoping to follow his late father's long career in Washington. Quote, 2468, "You can't make us procreate," and closed quote, was another one of the quotes. Although many of the protesters chanting slogans were women in their 20s and 30s, the racially diverse crowd had senior citizens and one infant in a stroller as well. Peter Calfett, a 14-month-old, was there with his parents, Caitlin Calfett and Jeff Calfett of Grosse Pointe. Quote, "We feel strongly about protecting reproductive rights in Michigan and the country," Peter's mother said. Quote, "One of the biggest issues with this is that this country doesn't have universal birth control, so we're losing one of the few protections that we have," and closed quote, she said. Although justices on the U.S. Supreme Court are appointed for life and thus are usually thought to be immune from public opinion, speakers at the event insisted that big turnouts at protests around the country could persuade the court against going ahead with a decision based on a leaked draft opinion to overturn the historic Roe v. Wade decision, which made abortion legal nationwide. Some participants handed out a flyer calling for, quote, "a week of resistance," and closed quote, from Sunday to May 14th, with wording that included, quote, "Only the people can stop this," and closed quote. Quote, "Not the church, not the state, we will decide our fate," and closed quote, they chanted, wearing a shirt that displayed the design of a coat hanger over the words "never again," and closed quote, was Melissa Bonello-Greff, 29, of Livonia. Quote, "I made it," she said, and closed quote, causing her friend Allison Tippy, also of Livonia, to laugh and finish her sentence with "an hour ago," and closed quote. Some of those who spoke to the crowd were familiar faces from the group who marched under the name Detroit Will Breathe and who took to the streets in the summer of 2020, soon after the death of George Floyd at the hands of police in Minneapolis, Minnesota. One leader of those marchers was Tristan Taylor, a 38-year-old of Detroit, a barista in Detroit's Midtown by day and an activist often by afternoons and evenings. Quote, "We really will only win this fight if we all stand together," end closed quote, Taylor told the crowd after taking the microphone. Taylor said there was a political crisis that extended beyond abortion rights. He said the court's decision against abortion would open the door, quote, to savage attacks on LGBT people, on black people, and on people at the border, end closed quote. Taylor called for more demonstrations. Quote, "We need everyone tweeting to get everyone they know out on the streets. We need unions doing whatever it takes, withholding their labor. We really have to make sure that this isn't the last march," end closed quote, he said. Another chant included, quote, "Abortion rights are under attack. What do we do? Stand up and fight back," end closed quote. Wearing a green kerchief over her hair, Cindy Louise, 70 years old of Hamtramck, exhorted the crowd through the microphone to wear green as the new symbol of those seeking to preserve abortion rights. The group marched around downtown Detroit for 30 minutes before dispersing peacefully at about 6:30 p.m. Also on our website, civiccentertv.com/local news from the Detroit News, $3 million in grant funds have been awarded to expand high-speed internet access in the Upper Peninsula. The federal government is awarding a $3 million grant to help expand high-speed broadband service in parts of Michigan's Upper Peninsula, Governor Whitmer announced on Tuesday. Whitmer joined U.S. Secretary of Commerce Gina Raimondo to announce the Department's Economic Development Administration's award of the CARES Act Recovery Assistance Grant to Merit Network Incorporated to support constructing a 70-mile fiber optic infrastructure. The project aims to expand high-speed broadband services in remote and underserved areas in Chippewa, Lucey, and Mackinac counties, as well as support the regional leveraging infrastructure for transforming the Upper Peninsula, or Lift-Up initiative, which provides middle-mile infrastructure to local internet service providers, Whitmer's office said in a statement. The investment is slated to be matched with $2.3 million in local funds and was expected to create 50 jobs, retain 10 jobs, and generate $5 million in private investment. Quote, "I am grateful to our federal partners for prioritizing investment in high-speed internet, which is critical for families and small businesses," Whitmer said, continuing on, quote, "Getting this done will continue growing Michigan's economy, support telework and telehealth, and offer more Michiganders access to remote learning opportunities. And at the state level, we will continue expanding access to high-speed internet with funding from the recently signed Building Michigan Together plan and opportunities offered by the Michigan High-Speed Internet Office that I established last year," end closed quote. U.S. Senator Debbie Stabenow, a Democrat from Lansing, added, quote, "In today's world, you need reliable high-speed internet for everything from work to school, to doctor's visits, and paying your bills. This new investment brings us one step closer to making sure all families in our state have access to these essential services," end closed quote. The effort is funded by the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security, or CARES Act, which provided the Economic Development Administration worth $1.5 billion for economic assistance programs to help communities prevent, prepare for, and respond to COVID-19. All those headlines on our website, civiccentertv.com/local-news, including one further article about water issues in some of Michigan's rural cities and counties and how that's affecting these counties, some of the reasons why they're having these issues with their water systems, and ways that they can go about mitigating these issues or fixing these issues. It's a really extensive article. We give you a little bit of it on civiccentertv.com/local-news, but I highly encourage you to go to our webpage, go to civiccentertv.com/local news, click on that article, and read it in full from our friends over at Bridge, Michigan. All those headlines are on our website, civiccentertv.com/local-news, as well as helpful links to accurate information on COVID-19 from the MDHHS at the state level, the Oakland County Health Division locally, and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention federally. We have a great program ahead on this Monday edition of the Megacast. Coming up next, we'll talk to Rajender Sandadi, and then after that, we'll talk with Ryan Hertz from Lighthouse of Michigan. That's next on the Oakland County Megacast.
Talk about putting me on a ventilator, I thought I was gonna die. I was 39 weeks pregnant and had a scheduled C-section. During that time, I got COVID and was hospitalized for a month. I had a blood clot in my lungs. It caused me to go into right-sided heart failure. I was really scared. I kept texting my husband and my mom, telling them how scared I was, and I was worried that he was gonna grow up without a mom. And then I was worried if, when I did get home, that he wouldn't know who I was. You know, being 27 and a mom and a wife and having that all almost taken away from me. It's scary, and if a vaccine can prevent that from happening, why not? Get your vaccine. I don't want this to happen to anybody else.
A message from the staff of Michigan's Crime Victim Compensation Program.
Anyone can be a victim of crime
and suffer lasting trauma, physically, emotionally, and financially.
But you are not alone.
If you're struggling financially due to a crime,
we're here
for you. Find out if you qualify for crime victim compensation. Call 877-251-7373 or visit michigan.gov/crime-victim.
A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Victim Services.
You see certain things get reincarnated in your children. My daughter is very much inspired by my wife's artistic pursuits. So my daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. And if there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops. My dad wasn't around, and I remember riding a bike and falling off and cutting myself, and me never just wanting to get back on it. People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike, and you didn't. I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
Whether you're the city,
the county,
or the Huron River Watershed Council.
As partners working together to protect our water resources, we agree.
Pet waste is the source of harmful bacteria in the Huron River.
When it's left on the ground, it can wash into the storm drains.
These lead directly to our streams. No filters, no treatment.
Here's one thing we know that can help keep our water clean.
Pick up pet waste and trash it.
Pick up pet waste and trash it.
So pick up pet waste and trash it.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
Who is struggling right now?
I am.
My son is.
Many are struggling with anxiety, depression, and substance use. Before it becomes a crisis, reach out to MyCal, the Michigan Crisis and Access Line for free confidential support 24/7. Available in the Upper Peninsula and Oakland County. Just call or text 1-844-44-MyCal. or chat online at michigan.gov/mycal. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Motorcyclists are hard to see. To keep everyone safer, it's important to always look for them and know where most crashes occur. 84% of motorcycle and vehicle crashes happen on streets, not highways. And most crashes with motorcyclists occur when vehicle drivers are turning left. So before turning, especially to the left, make sure you look for motorcyclists. Then look again. It could save a life.
To Sophia and Gabriel, even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love. These stitches and threads join us together. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to the Oakland County Megacast. I'm Tyler Keefe. To learn more about the program by visiting our website at civiccentertv.com/megacast, where you'll find all of our programs on demand, including each individual interview, and learn more about all of our partnering TV, radio, and other web outlets that join us each and every day. civiccentertv.com/megacast. Joining us now is the president of the Michigan chapter of Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh USA, Rajender Sandadi, is with us now on the Oakland County Megacast. Rajender, thank you for being with us today.
Namaste, and Thank you so much for inviting me for this live cast. I'm glad to be part of this program.
Appreciate having you on. So can you first tell us, for those that may not have ever heard of the organization or may not be familiar with Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh USA, can you tell us about the nonprofit, how it serves people across the country, and then more specifically how it is providing a service to people right here in Michigan?
Absolutely. Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh USA is a voluntary nonprofit socio-cultural organization. It aims to organize Hindu community in order to preserve, practice, and promote Hindu ideals and values. HSS conducts structured programs of regular athletic, academic activities to develop strong character and leadership skills in its members, emphasizing values such as self-discipline, self-confidence, and a spirit of selfless service. We call it as Seva for the community. So in the most recent times, we are all hit with COVID-19, at least 2.5 years. HSS volunteers across Michigan, especially in Metro Detroit area, have worked tirelessly in stitching the face masks. And also we distributed food kits, or we call it as hygiene care kits, to the vulnerable sections or vulnerable populations within the community. We also distributed masks and care kits to hospitals and nursing homes right in our neighborhoods. So it also does a lot of self-service activities, food drives, and several other programs within the community. And it has about 260 branches across USA. And first of all, I just wanted to thank all the teacher community on the eve of Teachers Appreciation Day that we celebrated yesterday and throughout the week. And I have amazing love and gratitude towards teacher community who teaches our kids right in our neighborhoods, right in our public schools. So I just wanted to say that thank you note to them for all our teachers.
So Rajender, all of these different efforts in the community, they all sort of tie back to this idea of dharma in Hinduism. Can you explain to those that aren't familiar with Hinduism as a religion what this concept of dharma is and how it applies to the work that your organization is doing right here in Michigan?
Absolutely. That's a very good question. I think a lot of times many people do not understand the word dharma. Dharma is actually a Sanskrit word. It means it's a natural and eternal universal law that maintains the cosmic and social order. What does that mean? These are all very heavy words, right? I, as a community member, first of all, I myself have some duties and responsibilities towards myself. Then next towards family. Then towards community or society where I live. And humanity at large, to the universe, and to the nature, to the environment. So dharma is nothing but the duties that you need to perform, one need to perform towards oneself, family, society, humanity, and the entire environment.
We're joined by Rajender Sandadi. He is the president of the Michigan chapter of Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh USA, joining us on the Oakland County Megacast. You can find more information on their website, hssus.org. That's hssus.org to learn more about the organization. Get in contact with Rajender and his team for the Michigan chapter of the organization and find out more events and other community projects that they are participating in over time. And so, Rajender, in the United States, we've seen metrics that are showing that there seems to be a decrease in the number of people who are considering themselves members of a certain faith community, whether it be Hinduism or Christianity or Judaism, Islam, or any other religion. At this time, we're seeing sort of a decrease in overall consideration by certain people of being people of faith or being involved in a religion. In the U.S., or at least in your experience, how is that holding up in our Hindu community? Are we seeing a similar trend where we don't have as many people that are necessarily considering themselves devout Hindus, or are we seeing a continued surge and resurgence of that faith in the wake of the crisis we've been in over the last several years?
That's a very good question. Again, there is a subtle difference between Abrahamic faiths that we practice here today and also Hinduism. Hinduism per se is not a religion, but it's a way of life. What does that mean? So it all boils down to how and what you practice. So it doesn't mean it is not a prescriptive religion where if you don't go every week to temple or mandir, you're not a Hindu. Or if you don't pray at home, then you're not a Hindu. So it's no prescription at all. You can be actually an atheist, but still a Hindu. So Hinduism does not make you or force you to adhere to certain strict tenets, so to say. So it's a very liberal, very flexible, and it's between you, the relationship with God or Almighty or the divine force is just between you and that ultimate divine force. So it's that simple. It is, and the kind of karmas, we call it as the kind of actions you perform on this in this birth will help you to lead a successful and good life. So, in terms of, to answer your question, in terms of numbers, there are about close to 3 million so-called Hindu practitioners or dharmic practitioners in the USA, and out of which a significant number of them on a day-to-day they practice or they consider themselves as Hindus. Any additional question you have on this, or?
Let's go back to discussing the organization. So we're joined by Rajender Sandadi. He is the president of the Michigan chapter of Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh USA, joining us on the Oakland County Megacast. Again, their website, hssus.org, hssus.org for more information. And HSS provides a number of different programs and regular value-based education programs in particular for children and youth and adults, and it has more than 220 branches nationwide where these are going on. Can you talk to us about some of these education programs and how people in the community are able to access these programs and benefit from this kind of learning in their communities?
Yeah. So HSS does not, if you have to join HSS or if you want to join one of their Sunday schools, most of them are done in temples or maybe in community centers. You don't have to be a member. Anybody can walk in, be part of this program. So it's an hour-and-a-half program, which is done mostly either on Saturday or Sunday in almost across the USA. Primarily, the focus is on building a holistic personality. It's the 90-minute program starts with yoga and meditation, followed by some value-based storytelling, and also provide some information about arts or educate them about Hindu arts. Overall, it is to build a very holistic personality who can be a contributing member to the society, selflessly contribute in service programs as well. We also provide a week-long learning sessions in summer months. And in those are more structured, more intense programs where kids learn not only about their own dharmic culture, but also they learn about the mythological stories and self-defense. A beat we call niyuddha. It's more of similar to a martial arts like karate or other programs that you see.
We're joined by Rajender Sandadi. He is the president of the Michigan chapter of Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh USA, joining us on the Oakland County Megacast. More information is on their website, hssus.org. That's hssus.org for more information and to learn more about everything that they're doing in communities across Michigan and around the United States. Rajender, the organization holds a national program every year that's called Health for Humanity Yogathon. Includes in sun salutations. Can you tell us when that event is, what that event entails, and how people can participate in this national event through your organization?
Absolutely. That's another very good question. In the month of January, most of the time it starts on the 14th of January, which is where the sun moves from southern part of the hemisphere to the northern part of the hemisphere. Sun solstice, and it goes on for about 16 days, so till the end of the January. That's the interval where this yogathon or Surya Namaskar Yajna is performed across the country, and we reach out to schools, yoga studios, and community leaders to promote this program. This is done at temples, community centers, and various other places by the volunteers of HSS. And anybody who wants to be part of this yogathon, we call this 16-day program, can join us. Reaching out to one of our volunteers, people can send me an email or call me to know more about this. The ultimate goal of this program is to promote wellness and good health in the community through yoga is primarily a union of body, mind, and soul. So with this combination, we would like to promote good health in the community. We see a ton of problems and issues, medical issues in the community. So therefore, we wanted to promote somehow in a small way to enrich and help community to build more strength and remove diseases from day-to-day life. So,
and Rajender, another event that is coming up, and it's going to be a local event on Big Beaver Road at the Sheffield Office Park on Friday, May 6th. That's this week, Friday, 2 to 8 p.m. You'll be holding the inaugural event known as Darshana, a glimpse into Hindu civilization exhibition. Tell us what people can learn at this exhibition and how they can participate.
Absolutely. Darshan, this is a launch event in Troy, Michigan. It presents a colorful overview of Hindu concepts and practices, offering an opportunity to learn about one of the oldest civilizations in the world with a continuing global presence today. The exhibition features a variety of topics ranging from yoga and divinity to mathematics and administration, demonstrating how Hindu knowledge has manifested in all aspects of human endeavor. This exhibition is created to bring more awareness of Hindu thinking, contributions, common practices, compiled by a group of very young Hindu Americans right here in the USA. It aims to clear misconceptions, introduce some key terms, and inspire further research into the rich culture that has found its home in the United States and globally. I would welcome residents of Troy, not only residents of Troy, across Metro Detroit area to join us in this Darshan exhibition, a glimpse into Hindu civilization. This is an opportunity for you to tour the exhibits, as well as there will be artifacts displayed. Along with, we would also offer you food tasting. The traditional Indian food would be available for you to taste and enjoy during that time. There will be a brief cultural program and hands-on arts work, and also yoga and meditation workshop. So you can enjoy all that at no cost, and it is open for everybody in the community. and there's no cost to you. So please do join us on 6th of May, Friday, from 2 p.m. through 8 p.m.
And that event, again, at the Sheffield Office Park, that is located at 3270 West Big Beaver Road in Troy. That's 3270 West Big Beaver Road in Troy at the Sheffield Office Park to participate in Darshana, a glimpse into Hindu civilization with the Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh USA chapter here in Michigan. We are joined by the president of that chapter, Rajender Sandadi, on the Oakland County Megacast. Rajender, before we let you go, anything else that would be important for our audience to know about Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh USA's Michigan chapter, or other ways they can get involved in the organization that we haven't discussed yet today?
Absolutely. HSS promotes universal oneness and pluralism in the community, and we do a lot of service projects in the community. One of the biggest programs that we do is Seva Diwali, that happens in sometime in October and November timeframe. Look out for the flyers at that time. But meanwhile, please do join us on May 6th to learn more about the organization and also this darshan exhibition. And at the end of the day, what we expect from the community is to learn a little more about the Hindu Dharma and Hinduism, and also all the dharmic faiths which originated from Indian subcontinent. I think, again, thank you once again, Taylor, for giving me this opportunity to connect with you and spread the good word.
Thank you. I appreciate your time. Thank you for being with us, Rajender.
Thank you. Namaste.
You as well. More information on the website, hssus.org. It's hssus.org for more information on Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh USA, including their Michigan chapter. And once again, that event that's coming up this week, Friday, May 6th, 2 to 8 p.m. They'll be holding their inaugural event, Darshana, a glimpse into Hindu civilization. It's a full exhibition. A lot going on at that event. That's 2 to 8 p.m. on Friday night, 3270 Big Beaver Road in Troy, Michigan at the Sheffield Office Park. We're going to take a break on the Oakland County Megacast. On the other side, we will talk to another national organization with a chapter here in Michigan. We'll speak with Ryan Hertz from Lighthouse of Michigan. Coming up next, this is the Oakland County Megacast.
It's the Great Lakes water. And so what people do ends up in our waterways.
Flushable wipes are just evil. They should be thrown away. They're impossible to destroy, and then they can cause significant problems.
One of the main things when you're cooking is to not dump fats, oils, and greases down your drains.
They stick to the sides of pipes. They stick to everything they come in contact with. Don't put it down the sink.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light.
How can I help you?
Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need. For help with food, healthcare, mental health, and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
We may come from different organizations,
but we work together to protect the Huron River for everyone.
Neighborhood storm drains carry water directly to local creeks and streams. No filters, no treatment.
Storm drains also help reduce street flooding when it rains.
So clearing storm drains and the areas nearby of trash and leaves helps keep them for rain only.
It is easy to do your part by adopting a storm drain.
Find a storm drain, check it, and clear it every month.
So keep storm drains for rain only.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
We as Michiganders feel connected to this resource in a way that I think is really powerful.
Conservation starts with a caring, committed community.
For me, it's peaceful to have a relationship with the river.
Every single one of us has a role to make sure that those waterways stay safe and healthy, being careful about what goes down the storm drain.
Just even eliminating some of your single-use plastic makes a difference.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
Did you know that nearly 3.31 million Americans don't get their annual checkup? Going to the doctor regularly is extremely important and is a crucial factor in maintaining good health. Make sure you are visiting your local doctor often and telling them about any health concerns you have. For more information, contact your local healthcare provider. This message is brought to you by WBHS Digital Media Arts Program and 89.3 Lakes FM.
Achoo! Joining us now is the president and CEO of Lighthouse of Michigan, a nonprofit focusing on creating equitable communities and addressing the issue of poverty in our communities as well. Ryan Hertz joins us now on the Megacast. Ryan, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate having you on. So first off, as we get into this conversation, for those that aren't familiar with Lighthouse, what are some of the services that you provide in the community to help address the issues of equitable housing, but also poverty?
Sure thing. So Lighthouse is actually the result of a merger between two longstanding social service organizations in Oakland County, one called Lighthouse of Oakland County, the other called South Oakland Shelter. Both were founded to respond to emergency needs, Lighthouse originally to respond to hunger, and South Oakland Shelter to homelessness. And over several decades, both organizations developed a continuum of services ranging from emergency response, like emergency food and shelter, utility assistance, eviction prevention, all the way to affordable housing development, supportive housing, financial coaching, and other stability-focused services. So we really try to address the spectrum of need, both from the individual level as well as the community and systems level, to reduce economic disparities and help families who are really struggling in our community.
We're joined by Ryan Hertz, the president and CEO of Lighthouse of Michigan, joining us on the Michigan Megacast. More information on the website, lighthousemi.org. That's lighthousemi.org. Ryan, Lighthouse is now teaming up with Amazon to deliver meals also to families in Oakland County that may be in need of food assistance or maybe in need of meal delivery. Can you tell us about how that partnership began and the extent of that partnership also?
Sure. So we actually work with Amazon in a variety of ways. Amazon's been a really big part of our Adopt a Family program around the holidays, and has done all kinds of initiatives to support our mission in recent years. In this particular situation, during the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic, we found that there were a number of people that we were serving who were vulnerable, who we really wanted to be getting food to without them having to go out to shop, without them having to go around to different food pantries, many with very high-risk situations. And so we started a program to connect volunteers to opportunities to home deliver our emergency food boxes. And we've done that for over 2 years now, serving thousands of families in Oakland County. Actually, I believe since the beginning of the pandemic, we've served around 60,000 households with our emergency food boxes throughout our community, right around 30,000 a year. And, Amazon has connected with us in so many ways, and we approached them about using some of their delivery drivers to help us get more food out to more folks. And they've been doing that, and it's been just a beautiful partnership, and we're really grateful.
So what's the response been so far from those that you serve through Lighthouse of Michigan to the delivery of these meal boxes with Amazon?
We actually have a partnership with a professor at Oakland University who conducted a survey of all the folks who receive our food assistance, both in terms of delivery and also through directly at our pantries and through some of our partner pantries who we provide these boxes to for distribution. And the delivery service is obviously hugely convenient for families that both because of the current conditions around the pandemic and some of our families being high risk, also because many of the families that we serve lack access to affordable transportation options to go and access food, or maybe they live in an area that's not close by to any pantries. So we've had a lot of really positive feedback from the people that we serve around the service. The challenge is just simply that it's very difficult to scale the service, right? It's an expensive thing to do if not totally volunteer driven. And we've been really blessed that our volunteer community has really stepped up around this. And we're trying to explore ways to scale this more and make it more sustainable. And our partnership with Amazon has been a big part of that.
So recently, the Attorney General of Michigan, Dan Nessel's office, had a chance to tour your warehouse, Lighthouse Warehouse, being particularly in her office's determination to bring more attention to lawmakers in our state about the efforts that are being undertaken by nonprofits across the state of Michigan. Can you talk about that tour, what you have in the warehouse, and how that warehouse helps you to provide services to people all throughout Michigan with Lighthouse of Michigan?
Sure thing. So the Attorney General actually visited 2 of our service sites. We have quite a range of different programs at different locations. She came and visited our new family emergency shelter, which I can also speak to later, and then spent some time at our primary food distribution warehouse hub. And that site essentially is the result of our ramping up of food distribution work early on in the pandemic, initially partnered with Oakland University and a variety of other partners to distribute food out of Oakland University Student Center. And then when school came back in session in the fall of 2020, we moved to a warehouse space. It's a vacant big box store at Summer Place Mall that is about 40,000 square feet of open, high bay warehouse space. And we utilize that space to bring food in much larger quantities than we'd be able to do out of our headquarters building, which was our primary pantry previous to this. We're able to accept much larger amounts of food donations. We're able to bring in much larger groups of volunteers to sort through those donations in a safe and distanced environment. And we're able to stage the distribution of those sorted food boxes that we hope will provide a family with everything they need nutritionally, so that they don't have to go around to many different locations and try to piece things together. So it's been a wonderful program, and we're really grateful that the Attorney General came out to learn more about what we're doing on a variety of fronts. We hope to be able to continue to keep this work going.
I understand too, I have in my notes from our producer, the king of television, Larry Nyland, that you also had mattresses in some of those warehouses that were given to Ukrainian refugees. Have you been able to get those mattresses to these refugees, and if so, how helpful has it been to them in getting acclimated to Michigan in their refugee status, while of course we have the conflict going on, the war over in Ukraine?
Sure. So we double up use of that space. The primary use of that space, as I mentioned, is our emergency food distribution, but we double up use of that space because we have quite a bit of additional warehouse space co-located there for a variety of things. I'd say probably the second largest, in addition to food, would be furniture. Both for Ukrainian refugees, which is really through partnership. Others that were focused exclusively on the resettlement of Ukrainian refugees reached out to us. One of our primary values at Lighthouse is collaboration and making sure that whatever assets we have are put to the best and highest use of the community as necessary. So when partners reached out to us about that opportunity, we said, certainly not only are we willing to warehouse mattresses, but we're willing to access our partnership with Gardner White Furniture and other sources of furniture to help source it. We also have a pet food pantry located out of that location for lower income families who have pets that have a hard time at moments affording to feed their pets or have access to other supplies, and that's in partnership with the Humane Society. So we utilize that space with a variety of partners, and that's just one of them. And of course, in this moment, that's an extremely meaningful opportunity for us to support a need.
We're joined by Ryan Hertz, the president and CEO of Lighthouse of Michigan. More information on their website, lighthousemi.org. That's lighthousemi.org. And earlier on in the year, Ryan, Lighthouse received a significant food donation from the Mormon Church in Utah. Can you talk about how big of an impact that donation, being that it was a significant donation of food, has had on those that you serve here in Michigan?
Yeah, it was a massive donation. It was wonderful. It was unexpected. It was exactly the sort of thing that needs to happen for us to continue to meet the expanding need. Early on in the pandemic, when we started expanding, we used to serve, 300 to 500 households a week out of a pantry focused in the Pontiac area and a pantry in Clarkston focused on northern Oakland County. Throughout the pandemic, we've served right around 5,000 per week. And to get there, we ramped up a really big emergency response campaign early in the pandemic. We raised over $3 million, both for our emergency food expansion work, as well as to quadruple the capacity of our emergency shelter and relocate it to a motel. And we have spent through those resources. Those resources did carry us through quite a long time, and we were able to help far more people than we've ever been able to assist in the past. And we're now in a position where we're going day by day trying to bring the resources together. And when that truck came, it was, couldn't have been better timed in terms of allowing us to be able to continue to meet that need.
Ryan, if people in Michigan would like to help your organization at this time, what are some different ways that they can through either donations, and if so, what do you need in terms of those donations, but also volunteer opportunities with Lighthouse of Michigan?
Sure. So, of course, we need donations. We ask folks if they do want to support specific areas of our work to still do so financially, while we do appreciate in-kind donations of food and other things because of the amount that we're able to access at a lower price if we purchase it in bulk. It's better for us to purchase the food directly through our partner at Gleaners, through other partners, wholesale. Your money goes further that way than if you go and purchase and then contribute food. That said, we of course accept in-kind donations. We always are in need of volunteers. If you visit our website, lighthousemi.org, there's a volunteer sign-up system that will clarify what the volunteer opportunities are on the horizon and allow you to sign up and find out more information. And we also have upcoming fundraising events that folks are very welcome to join us. We have our Rent Party event in Detroit at the old Stanley Kresge Mansion in East Boston, Edison, Arden Park neighborhood. We haven't had this event for a few years in person due to the pandemic. And this year we'll be having it in person, mostly outdoors, trying to accommodate everybody's needs in this complicated time. And so we would encourage folks to join us. You can visit therentparty.org to find out more. It's a big jazz concert and party outside in the neighborhood. So please feel free to join.
We're joined by Ryan Hertz. He is the president and CEO of Lighthouse of Michigan, joining us on the Michigan Megacast. More information on their website, lighthousemi.org. That's lighthousemi.org. And earlier, Ryan, you mentioned the family emergency shelter that your organization has as well. Can you tell us about that, and if people are in need of shelter in our communities, how they can get access to either the family emergency shelter or other shelter-related services provided by Lighthouse?
Sure. So we have a very limited number of emergency shelter beds for folks who are displaced from their homes in Oakland County. And at the beginning of the pandemic, the number of people calling us for assistance dramatically increased. And we realized that over the years, options for families had greatly diminished in Oakland County. We do have a domestic violence shelter, our partners at Haven, and we're grateful for that. But for families that are homeless, that don't necessarily qualify for those services, the only emergency shelter located in Oakland County that accepted families was the South Oakland Shelter, which was the shelter program that merged into Lighthouse. And that program serves both families and individuals based on first come, first serve. So for mid to large size families, the odds of having enough openings at any given time when a family calls are fairly small. And so what we realized during the pandemic, as the need dramatically increased and as we partnered with Oakland schools and others and realized just how many people were going without their needs being met in that population, we decided to convert one of our transitional housing buildings from a longer term transitional housing program into a emergency shelter program. So we now have 18 apartment units specifically dedicated to emergency shelter for families. We also took that transitional housing program and we made it a transition in place program. So it still exists, it's just no longer at that site. Now we work with families in their own apartment as opposed to within our building in the community with a private landlord in a community where they want to live. And at the end of the 2-year transitional housing program, they can take over the lease and transition in place. So they don't have to move out at the end of the program. So it's really been a mutually beneficial thing for both of those programs. And we're just grateful to be able to meet that need in the community at this time.
Ryan, before we let you go, anything else at this time that would be important for our audience to keep in mind regarding your organization or other ways that they can help Lighthouse Michigan at this time?
Certainly. So, in early 2020, when the pandemic hit all of us, there was a response that I never could have imagined from our community. A recognition as everybody was struggling that there are folks who are struggling more than others. There are folks that everyone is struggling, and yet there are people in our community who have less resources to navigate this tough time. And I think that as we have moved through this challenging period over the last couple of years, I think some folks have perhaps lost sight of the reality of how the past 2 years have impacted low to mid-income families in our community. And I would just ask folks to remember that that impact is still with us, and to reach back out and re-engage with organizations like ours. We have so many folks who are so generous with their time and treasure and talent, and yet we have so much unmet need, and we really need everyone in this community if we have a hope of achieving our mission to be a part of that.
Ryan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
People are getting out to walk and bike in higher numbers. More vulnerable road users and higher speed traffic can be a dangerous combination. Crash severity has increased, so if you're driving, be sure to slow down and look for people. There's no need to speed. If you're biking, ride with traffic. If you're walking, avoid stepping into the road if possible. If you have to walk in the street, walk facing traffic. Learn more at walkbikedrivesafe.org.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light.
How can I help you?
Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need. For help with food, healthcare, mental health, and other resources, call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
We're joined now by Christiane Malone, the president of Detroit United Lacrosse, one of nearly 300 charities and nonprofits supported on the Shared Detroit platform. Christiane, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me on the show today.
Appreciate having you on. So you are with Detroit United Lacrosse. Can you tell us about the organization and what it does to benefit the community?
Yeah, absolutely. So Detroit United Lacrosse was founded in 2019, and our focus is to bring the sport of lacrosse here to the city of Detroit to really help unify the youth of Detroit's neighborhoods by promoting character education, personal development, and pathways to prosperity by instilling the values of the sport, which includes respect, honor, courage, and integrity. And through that, we hope to make, better citizens from our youth, and that they will uphold the virtues of the game both on and off the field.
So youth athletics are a key part of developing a child, developing strong young leaders, people that work well in teams, social skills for kids of all ages. And that can go with really any sort of physical activity or any sort of sport. So why was lacrosse what was ultimately chosen for this organization to run with?
Yeah, absolutely. Lacrosse has been a passion of mine, as well as our other co-founder and all of our coaches who are currently assisting and volunteering with us in the organization. I grew up playing lacrosse, and it's also because I don't look like a typical lacrosse player. I've gotten that quite often. Being a female and also a female of color, I don't have that typical lax bro look. And so I, wanted to bring the sport of lacrosse because it's done so much in my life and provided so many connections. And just, it's unique, it's fun. It incorporates so many of the modern day sports such as hockey, soccer, and basketball. You see that reflected in how the game is played. And it's something that I, wanted to also share with the youth of the city, as well as my co-founder, Summer Aldred. And together, we're so excited to just share our love and passion of the sport, and hoping that youth of Detroit would also have that same love and passion as well.
We're joined by Christiane Malone, the president of Detroit United Lacrosse, with us on the Michigan Megacast. More information can be found on their website or on sharedetroit.org. We can look through their entire catalog of nearly 300 charities and nonprofits. Just go to their charities and nonprofits page and search for Detroit United Lacrosse, or visit DetroitUnitedLacrosse.org. And so, Christiane, what are some of the programs that are offered through Detroit United Lacrosse to those in the community? Of course, there's the lacrosse program, but there's other programs as well that help for that leadership development and that community development.
Yes, absolutely. So no matter what, when we're playing, we definitely are instilling values of the game, as well as those character traits and, coaching not only for the sport, but also in life. And so, yes, we do program a lot of lacrosse almost year round. Almost the only time we take the stop actually programming lacrosse is during lacrosse season in the spring. And that's just because us as coaches and, leaders are actually coaching high school teams, which conflicts with running an organization at this time. But we're quickly growing. And so we look to actually start playing during lacrosse season. And so we program summer that's called our Detroit City Recreational League. We also have a high school travel program for both boys and girls, which is called our Panthers program. Right now, we actually launched a middle school program called our Cubs. So it's a middle school competitive program. In the fall, we do fall ball. And then in the winter, but also this summer, we are now launching our new program called Crossroots, which is a character development program that is starting with 7th graders. They meet twice a week. And so half of the program is dedicated to character education, skill building, life skills, the things that students would need to know, beyond the classroom. And then the second half of the evening is actually lacrosse instruction. And in the middle, they will have a meal so they can break bread together, talk. And so we start with cohorts of 40, 20 boys and 20 girls. And then every year, as we go forward, we'll add an additional 7th grade cohort on. And then hopefully the cohort that, everyone from the previous cohort stays on board as well, too. And so our goal is to pretty much have a full, group of kids, 7th through 12th grade, all learning different things, participating in different ways. But ultimately, they're still learning those life skills as well as growing their lacrosse acumen and literacy through our program. And at the end of the day, we want them to go on, stay in touch with us, give back to the community, help uplift other and future aspiring players as well. And regardless if they decide to continue playing on, in college or thereafter, we want them just to have that feeling of giving back back, but also knowing that they gained a lot from not only our program, but like I said before, gaining those skills that they can apply on and off the field.
We're joined by Christiane Malone, the president of Detroit United Lacrosse, with us on the Michigan Megacast. More information on their website, DetroitUnitedLacrosse.org. That's DetroitUnitedLacrosse.org. Or you can learn more about the organization and ways that you can help the organization by visiting ShareDetroit.org and searching on in their catalog of charities and nonprofits throughout the Detroit area over there on their website, ShareDetroit.org. And so, Christiane, if parents are interested in getting their kids involved, or kids would like to get involved with Detroit United Lacrosse, how do they go about doing that, and when are these programs available to them to sign up?
Yes, great question. So first and foremost, we pretty much take all ages of youth. So, we've started as young as 3 years old and of course gone up to 18, 19 when they're seniors in high school. And through that, they don't have to have any lacrosse experience required. We are an introductory program, and also we're a pipeline program for here in this city. And so not only are we able to teach the basics of the sport, we're able to coach up if they want to continue to play competitively. So our programs are just say starting chronologically from now, we'll be launching our summer Detroit City Recreational League. That is for ages 14 and under. And that is introductory, short-sided play. We use softer balls. No equipment is required. We provide all the sticks. And that's all they really need during that play. And they practice twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then they'll come together every other week on Saturdays to play, other of the rec league teams within our program on that day. We also have, I said, our high school travel program too, called Panthers. Similarly, because we know lacrosse is a brand new sport here in the city of Detroit, no experience is required. And like many high schools here in Michigan, it is still an emerging sport, and kids, from whether it's the suburbs or cities, they are just learning it because, it has not been something that has been played for, as long as it has been on the East Coast, I should say. And that is opportunity for new and experienced high school players to come out and play with us. We also have our adult league too, and so in the summer, so it's a great opportunity for former players or adults, collegiate, post collegiate, who are just wanting to play or learn to get out on the field and stretch those legs and dust off the old skills and show everyone what they got. Then in going into the fall, we have our fall ball. So similarly as our Detroit City Rec League, it just carries that on to fall. So same age groups, 13 to 18. And we still have some of our Panthers playing in tournaments during that fall time. We then go into winter, which Crossroots also kicks off again, which is our starting in 7th grade cohorts. And that is our leadership and character development program. And then we also host a series of open clinics. We partner with the Detroit City Fieldhouse and host some indoor play during that time as well. And then, of course, just throughout the rest of the, summer and the year, we also work with other nonprofits too. So we host camps and clinics, and we partner with nonprofits who have day camps, and we'll have actually some of our high schoolers go out and assist with guiding the instruction at those day camps. They are all trained. I'm proud to say all of our coaches are level 1 certified through USA Lacrosse. We make sure our student athletes are also level 1 certified if they do want to go and assist. So we make sure everyone's adequately trained, background checks, and we make sure to deliver the highest level of instruction that is based on the level of play that our kids are coming in at. So we're not throwing anyone in there, and we have safety as our biggest element. And so we don't want to put kids against each other that aren't prepared. We really want to make sure that we give them the level of instruction that makes them love the game. They get excited about the new things that they can learn, because our goal is for kids to continue playing sports. 70% of youth in the United States stop playing sports by the age of 13. And so we really want to help stop that statistic and help, aid in our youth continuing to play. Whether it doesn't have to be, D1, it doesn't have to be, on the highest level travel team, just staying active, being engaged, making friends, having fun. That is our, our core of why we're doing this. And so we want to just continue that on and have it be an enjoyable experience for all.
Christiane, another couple minutes with you before we'll have to let you go today. Before we do, what are some important ways that at this time the community can support Detroit United Lacrosse and the ways that it's supporting kids in the Detroit area?
Yeah, great question. So there are pretty much 3 areas that we're currently looking for right now. One, volunteers always. We always love volunteers, whether you have lacrosse experience or, any sport experience, that is fine. Or if you don't, that's fine too. We're also looking for subject matter experts. We are a growing organization, so like legal expertise, finance and accounting expertise. Those are all great skills that we will love for a volunteer to help bring to us as we continue to have our organization grow. Grant writing, of course, we've done pretty good so far, but we know we can always do better. Also, we have recently acquired a new office space at the Durfee Innovation Center Society over in kind of the central area of the city. And we are right now furnishing that space, but of course, having additional funds to continue our build out, to make it a place that kids can come after school. We then use the field in order to, have practices. But so that's something that is also needed, just kind of helping build out, I would say, our infrastructure. We're doing very well equipment wise. So I know a lot of people have old equipment in their garages, basements. And right now we're, I would say we're good on equipment. Appreciate everyone wanting to kind of clean out their houses. But if you have, any monetary or, intellectual donations that you can give us, that is really what we're looking for right now, or human capacity in order to continue to build out our infrastructure, as I said.
Christiane, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate you having us today.
Parents do a lot of worrying. Get your kids caught up on childhood vaccines to protect them from these 14 preventable diseases, and you'll have 14 fewer things to worry about. Vaccines are safe and effective and save lives. So let's get caught up on vaccines and worry about something else. Get the facts at ivaccinate.org.
We may come from different organizations,
but we work together to protect the Huron River for everyone.
Most of the pollution that goes into our rivers is carried by rainwater that flows off of roads, parking lots, and rooftops.
The leaves and bark of a single tree can retain a surprising amount of rainwater. Depending on its size and species, it could be 100 gallons or more.
It is estimated that an urban forest can reduce annual runoff by up to 7%.
Here's one thing that we know can help keep our water clean.
Plant a tree.
Plant a tree.
Plant a tree.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
One of the things you can look for in your friends is a change in behavior. These can be big changes, they can be small changes in mood, physical appearance. They may be sleeping less or sleeping more, drinking more, or their eating patterns may be different.
One big change that can be pretty obvious is change in motivation. Do they no longer want to play basketball? Do they no longer want to play video games?
Now that we're spending more time online and in virtual settings, it's really important to pay attention to the language that your friend is using and the words they're using to communicate.
So when we text our friends, are they taking longer amounts of time to respond? Are they not responding at all? You don't have to be an expert to try to recognize these signs. The second that you feel it in your gut and that you're concerned, that's the second to have the conversation and open the door to what might be going on.
Whatever gets you talking.
Joining us now is one of 295 charities and nonprofits supported on the Share Detroit platform. John Stoika is the president and executive director of Community Home and Supports Incorporated, and he joins us now on the Megacast. John, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate having you on. So first off, can you tell us, for those that aren't familiar, tell us about your organization and who it serves?
We're a 501c3 nonprofit. We've been in existence since 2008. We're a bit of a smaller organization, about 35 employees full-time. And our primary mission is to assist people who are homeless in Detroit, Hamtramck, and Highland Park. And that's where our area of expertise is. And so anything from initial contact to a person who considers themselves to be in a housing emergency, to assessing households, to negotiating with landlords and housing people, and then providing them with the follow-up supportive services necessary to help them get on a path to permanent housing stability and independence. And some of those supportive services include things like job training and education, and tenancy management, behavioral health counseling, and substance abuse counseling, things of that nature. A variety of resources to help the unique needs of each specific family or, individual that we're assisting.
So, John, these individuals and these families that may come to you for these supports, how do they all often get in contact with your organization? Are they initiating that contact, or as you're out and looking for people to support, is your organization then finding these people and making that contact?
Well, one of the reasons that homeless services, I think how it works is so difficult for people who aren't entrenched in the daily work to understand is because it's a real community effort. We're part of a community of 30 or 40 organizations, nonprofit and government entities, developers, landlords, who are all working together to address this problem. And when I say working together, I mean working together very intimately. And so we're part of a network called a Continuum of Care. And we are part of the central point of access to services in that continuum of care. And so we're part of an entity with what is known as the Coordinated Assessment Model, otherwise known as the CAM. And so for people who are in Detroit, Hamtramck, or Highland Park that consider themselves to be in a housing emergency, like if they're in a domestic violence situation, or they're being evicted, or they feel like they're sleeping in a car, or they're going to be in the street tonight, then they would want to call the CAM call center and speak with an assessment counselor who can assess the situation that they're going to and try to route them to the organization in our network that has the services that best suits their needs.
We're joined by John Stoika, the President and Executive Director of Community and Home Supports Incorporated, a Shared Detroit-supported charity and nonprofit. You can find them in a couple of different places. Find information on shareddetroit.org by going and searching in their Find a Nonprofit section on their homepage and searching for Community and Home Supports Incorporated, or by visiting their website, which is chsinc.org. That's chsinc.org. And you can also visit, that is their website. They're also on social media, including Facebook. And you can find more information on their website about everywhere you can get in contact with them. chsinc.org is their website. We're joined by the President and Executive Director, John Stoika, on the Megacast. So how is that process then once you get in contact with these with these people and with these families and figure out and do that initial assessment? How quickly then does the work begin to provide that support to them and help resolve some of the issues they may be having on the housing front?
Is if a person is in need of assistance, like I said, they would contact the CAM call center at 313-305-0311, and they would let them know that they're in this situation, and then the CAM call center would assess them. And if they are in the streets or if they're in a shelter, then that's where our organization would get involved, and we would come out and we would meet with them. And every person and every household is different. All their situations are different. Everybody is going through a different situation for a different reason. And so it really all depends on the unique situation that the individual or family that we're servicing is going through. But we'll meet with them, we'll help them get their vital documentation. And that's the goal of the network that we work within, called the Detroit Continuum of Care. And the goal of our organization is to meet with people and get them from a place of being homeless to a place of being permanent housed quickly, rapidly.
We're joined by John Stoika. He is the president and executive director of the Community and Home Supports Incorporated, joining us on the Michigan Megacast. More information on their website, chsinc.org. That's chsinc.org. You can find them as well on social media, on Facebook at CHS Detroit, as well as on Instagram. That is also going to be at CHS, that's CHS.Detroit on Instagram, CHS Detroit on Facebook as well. Their website, once again, CHSINC.org, or visit sharedetroit.org for more information. And so, John, we know that in major cities across the United States, homelessness is a major issue. It varies in its severity from certain cities to others. We know in places like Los Angeles, the homelessness issue there is severe. In the city of Detroit, just how common is homelessness, and just how severe of an issue is it in the city of Detroit?
Well, according to the 2020 annual homeless report for the cities of Detroit, Hamtramck, and Highland Park, there were roughly 10,000 people who were homeless in the year 2020. And I'd say that those numbers probably haven't changed too much in the last few years. And around 2000, I think it was just under 2,000 of those households were considered to be chronically homeless, meaning that those households have been homeless for continuously or totaling 12 months, and they have an ongoing medical condition, a disability. And also close to 2,000 of those households were seniors as well. And so it's an issue. I think that, when you think about the issue of homelessness, it all comes into perspective. How do we define homelessness? Because, you might also consider some people who are living in these, in some of the housing that's in the city, homeless, if they don't have any water in there, they don't have any electricity. So are those people even getting counted into the numbers, So it's a problem, and I think there's, depending on where you're at in the United States, it's going to be unique to your specific community.
We're joined by John Stoika, the president and executive director of Community and Home Supports Incorporated, a Share Detroit-supported charity and nonprofit. You can learn more about this organization and the 294 other charities and nonprofits supported on the Share Detroit platform by visiting their website at sharedetroit.org. You can also directly visit the Community and Home Supports Incorporated's website at chsinc.org. That's chsinc.org, and on social media, on Facebook at CHS Detroit, on Instagram at chs.detroit. John, what sort of volunteer opportunities are available through your organization if people out in the community in Detroit and in surrounding areas would like to support your organization in its efforts to address the homelessness issue in Detroit and the metro area?
Well, I really appreciate you asking me that. So, and if anybody's interested, they can email us at resume@chsinc.org or info@chsinc.org. And it could be anything if people have the capacity to help us on the ground, helping people who are homeless, and people have the capacity to help us, negotiate with landlords and meet with landlords, and people even have the capacity to help us in the back office. I tell everybody who comes to intern, volunteer, or work for us, that one thing I can guarantee you is that if you come to us, if you come every day and you try, you will help somebody who is homeless be permanently housed. And so it's a good opportunity. It's a really good learning opportunity. It's a good professional learning opportunity. And it's a good opportunity to just do something for your community. like I said, anybody who comes to work for us, who shows up every day and tries, will help somebody who is homeless no longer be homeless anymore.
And then in terms of other ways the community can help, what are some of those other ways that the community can contribute to your organization and support your efforts to address homelessness and help these individuals that may be in need in Detroit, Hamtramck, and other areas?
I think just really being involved, whether it be time or money, donating time or money to our organization and even some of the other organizations that are out there. We all work together very intimately, and we all need community support. And so I think, visiting our website and looking into some of the other organizations that are our partners and looking at some of the work they do and where your skills and expertise might help out. Because like I said, if you come and help us out or some of these other organizations, you will help somebody who's homeless no longer be homeless anymore. And even more than that, you may also help them get a job or help them get clean. You know what I'm saying? So.
More information on their website, chsinc.org. That's chsinc.org. You can also learn more about Community and Home Supports Incorporated by visiting Shared Detroit's website at shareddetroit.org, where you can also learn more about 294 other charities and nonprofits supported on that platform all throughout the Metro Detroit area. We're joined by John Stoika, the President and Executive Director of Community and Home Supports Incorporated. Just another couple minutes with you before we'll need to say goodbye. John, anything else at this time that would be important for our audience to know about your organization or its efforts in the community?
I think, we're a smaller organization. We do a lot with the little that we have. And I think we play an important role in the network of organizations that we're a part of in addressing homelessness in the community. And I think, I just really encourage people, to go to our website, look into the work that we do, and look at ways that you can help out if you can. And if it's only a couple dollars or if it's volunteering a couple hours, we really appreciate and we can always use the help. So I appreciate you guys having us on today because like I said, we're a smaller organization and we don't really get a lot of opportunities like this. So I really appreciate you having me on today.
John, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Today, it is easier than ever to join Michigan's Organ Donor Registry and help build a bridge of hope for organ, tissue, and eye donation. Just one person can potentially save or help improve the lives of up to 75 people. By joining, your legacy could be the gift of life. Sign up today at michigan.gov/SOS or at any of the more than 145 Secretary of State self-service stations located across Michigan. Be part of Michigan's Bridge of Hope by adding your name to the Organ Donor Registry.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light.
How can I help you?
Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need. For help with food, healthcare, mental health, and other resources, call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
Whether you're the city,
the county,
or the Huron River Watershed Council,
we work together to protect water resources for everyone.
Most of the pollution entering our rivers is carried by rainwater that runs off roads, parking lots, and rooftops.
A rain garden helps catch stormwater runoff.
Rain gardens and their plants help dirty runoff soak into the ground.
You can do your part to help keep our water clean.
Learn about rain gardens and native plants.
So consider a rain garden in your home landscaping.
Catch the runoff with a rain garden.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
I couldn't breathe at all. There was lots of talk about putting me on a ventilator. I thought I was gonna die. I was 39 weeks pregnant and had a scheduled C-section. During that time, I got COVID and was hospitalized for a month. I had a blood clot in my lungs. It caused me to go into right-sided heart failure. I was really scared. I kept texting my husband and my mom, telling them how scared I was, and I was worried that he was gonna grow up without a mom. And then I was worried if, when I did get home, that he wouldn't know who I was. You know, being 27 and a mom and a wife and having that all almost taken away from me. It's scary, and if a vaccine can prevent that from happening, why not? Get your vaccine. I don't want this to happen to anybody else.
A message from the staff of Michigan's Crime Victim Compensation Program.
Anyone can be a victim of crime
and suffer lasting trauma, physically, emotionally, and financially.
But you are not alone.
If you're struggling financially due to a crime,
we're here
for you.
Find out if you qualify for crime victim compensation.
Call 877-251-7373 or visit michigan.gov/crime-victim.
A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Victim Services.
You see certain things get reincarnated in your children. My daughter is very much inspired by my wife's artistic pursuits. So my daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. And if there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops. My dad wasn't around, and I remember riding a bike and falling off and cutting myself, and me never just wanting to get back on it. People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike, and you didn't. I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
Whether you're the city,
the county,
or the Huron River Watershed Council.
As partners working together to protect our water resources, we agree.
Pet waste is a source of harmful bacteria in the Huron River.
When it's left on the ground, it can wash into the storm drains.
These lead directly to our streams. No filters, no treatment.
Here's one thing we know that can help keep our water clean.
Pick up pet waste and trash it.
Pick up pet waste and trash it.
So pick up pet waste and trash it.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
Welcome back to the Michigan Megacast. I'm Tyler Keefe. To learn more about the program by visiting our website at civiccentertv.com and clicking on our Megacast link, or typing in civiccentertv.com/Megacast, where you'll learn more about all of our partnering TV, radio, and web outlets, including My Michigan TV, otherwise known as My. Joining us now is the owner of Walking Lightly in Ferndale. Tessa Benzinger is with us now on the Megacast. Tessa, thank you for being with us.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, good to have you with us. So your store calls itself a store that's focusing on sustainability, zero waste, and refillery as well. Can you tell us about your store, well, what products you provide, and where that focus for a zero waste or more efficient facility came into play as you were developing this business?
Yeah, of course. So the store itself offers home and body products, and in bulk. So customers are welcome to bring in their own containers, anything clean and dry, and just fill up the products that you need every day, like soaps, shampoos, laundry soap, dish soap, personal items, things like that. That way you can get the things you need for your home without using any more single-use plastics, which is really the focus of the store, is eliminating all the single-use plastics that we can. Just in my own personal life, I was really struggling to find a way to reduce our household plastic. And I figured there had to be a better way, and that my neighbors must be in the same situation. So it all grew out of that.
So these products that you're selling there, that you're providing to be able to help these individuals refill some of their soap bottles, their shampoo bottles, their conditioner bottles, and so on. Are those being made by your company? Or are those products that you're bringing in? And how do you do that in a way that's also sustainable? Because I would imagine that the packaging for those is also plastic.
Right. Yeah, and we certainly don't want to be contributing to the waste stream on the back end. So we are not the manufacturer. We work with suppliers who are closed loop. So they ship their products to us in a container that they take back. So for a lot of our suppliers, that'll be like in a plastic bag. Everything gets rinsed and then sent back to the supplier to just keep in the supply chain for as long as possible.
And so, Tessa, many may have the question, well, a lot of these containers that these products are coming in are plastic, sure, but I can put them in the recycling bin and it's all fine. It's all getting recycled and repopulated anyway. Why do I need to go to a business like that? Is that a flawed mode of thinking, and for what reason would that maybe be flawed?
Well, in the last several years, we've certainly learned that recycling is not maybe the golden ticket that we once thought it was. Overall, the recycling rates are about 9%. And even with plastics that can be recycled, they can't be recycled infinitely. So a new or virgin plastic can be, depending on which number of plastic it is, can be recycled maybe once or twice. But at the end of those couple of trips through the system, it's going to go in the landfill or to be burned, both of which are not good options. So we felt like there needed to be a better option.
We're joined by Tessa Bensinger, the owner of Walking Lightly, located in Ferndale, Michigan, joining us on the Michigan Megacast. Tessa, your business is called Walking Lightly. What was the inspiration behind that name specifically for your business?
So it's kind of funny. When I was a kid, I had a poster on my wall with a picture of the earth and a quote from Barbara Ward. And the quote is, "We have forgotten how to be good guests, how to walk lightly on the earth as its other creatures do." And when I decided to do this, I'm not sure why, but that popped into my head. So just kind of feels full circle.
More information on their website, walkinglightly.net. That's walkinglightly.net. For more information, look at some of their products, and to get in contact with the folks over at Walking Lightly, located in Ferndale, Michigan. We're joined by Tessa Bensinger, the owner of Walking Lightly, located in Ferndale. Your business offers local delivery using deposit jars for home and body goods as well. Can you talk about those deposit jars and how vast they are in your delivery area?
Yeah, so it's sort of, when we first started doing this, I think that was the easiest transition, and it was easiest to be able to compare it to the milkman for people. So that's why we use the deposit jar system, because we can all sort of imagine what it was like when milk bottles were set out, and there's, we sort of know the deposit system, but it kind of helped to make sense of a jar being left and then a jar being picked up later. So
in addition to providing these products to your customers in a way that's much more sustainable than consistently going to a store and picking up a new bottle of these products and going to yours instead for refilling and reusing those plastics as much as possible, you also offer a Terra recycling programs, workshops, and information sharing too on these topics. Can you first talk about Terra recycling? What is that, and what sort of informational programs and workshops for that method do you provide to the community?
Sure. So TerraCycling is a company that offers recycling for items that otherwise wouldn't be able to be recycled. And we do try to focus on things that our local recyclers can't take. So things like empty pens, toothbrushes, toothpaste tubes, things like that. And our website has all the information about the different programs that we have. And we try to keep that all updated too on our social media, like on Facebook and Instagram. And so people can kind of see in real time any programs that we're adding. Some of them are sponsored by big companies, so they're totally free of cost. Some we pay for, and the community has kind of chipped in. Everybody, if you're using the program and you're able to contribute a little, great. If you're not, then it's fine. We're kind of all doing that together. And then as far as workshops and community education, we just try to do things that are focused on living sustainably, and then trying to connect with local experts. So we've had workshops on composting, on mending clothes. On Earth Day, we just had a local expert demonstrating how to make a rain barrel and how to best use a rain barrel at home. And, so kind of household tips and things that we can all do that make a big difference right at home.
We're joined by Tessa Benzinger, the owner of Walking Lightly, located in Ferndale, Michigan. More information is on their website, walkinglightly.net. That is walkinglightly.net for more information. Get in contact with them and search some of their products. They are located at 1031 Hilton Road in Ferndale. The regular hours are Thursday and Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturday, 10 to 4, Sunday, noon to 4, and then Wednesday is a delivery day as well. More information and, of course, to get in contact with them, as we said, at walkinglightly.net. That's walkinglightly.net. So, Tessa, what's the response been from the community there in Ferndale and from surrounding areas among the community in general, but also, more importantly, for your business, from those that are frequenting your business there in Ferndale?
We have been so lucky. The community has been really receptive and really just kind and generous. And honestly, business is totally new to me. It's not my field of expertise, so I'm kind of building this as I learn, and everyone's been really gracious. So it's been really fun to hear. There are folks who have been living sustainably and who are walking in the door and educating me on all sorts of things. And there are also folks who are just hearing about this concept or thinking about living more sustainably and just trying to maybe choose one thing in their life to make a difference on. So it's really been a joy to get to know so many people that are interested in this. So.
And again, Tessa, for those that may be interested in refilling some of these plastic bottles with some of those products that they need in their home, what are some of those products that you do except to refill at your business?
That folks can bring in of their own? Anything clean and dry. So, of course, we want you to be mindful. Usually the easiest thing to do is, okay, whatever your shampoo bottle is, just bring that in to refill shampoo, or your dish soap bottle to bring it to fill up dish soap. But really, whatever you have that works, sometimes folks will bring in like a honey squeeze jar, because that will work really well. And we just make sure everything's labeled before you go so you don't get home and forget what's in there. But we really think that any container that already exists is the most environmentally friendly container. And we do have plenty here. If you ever are stopping in and you don't have a container with you, we've got purchase or deposit jars or community donations as well.
So you've got a couple events coming up over there in the next few weeks. On May 22nd, that's a Sunday, from 2 to 4, you'll be having your candle refill day, and you'll have an herb planter workshop also on that day from 4:30 to 5:30. Can you tell us about these events and how people can participate?
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, so the candle refill, in talking to people, there's a lot of folks that really love candles, but then get frustrated and don't know what to do with them afterwards. So we have a woman, a local candle maker, who we've been working with. Folks, would come in and drop off a candle. She'll refill it, and then customers pick it back up. But we just thought it'd be fun to have her in the shop so that people can sort of in real time, pick their scents and have their candle refilled while they're shopping. And then the herb planter workshop is a local gardening consultant who has done another workshop with us that was really helpful and informative. And it's just a great way to introduce more sustainable living in a really fun way. So, instead of having to purchase herbs either in plastic packaging or getting too many and then having food waste, being able to grow your own tastes better, and it really is better for the environment. So it's just a fun way to do that.
We're joined by
and all the event information's online.
We're joined by Tessa Benzinger, the owner of Walking Lightly, located in Ferndale, Michigan. More information is on their website, walkinglightly.net. That's walkinglightly.net. And then a few days after those other events, on May 24th and 25th, you have your Salon Environment Recycling event. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we've got a local friend, which has also been part of the beauty of this, is just meeting so many people that are passionate. a local hairdresser who is really passionate about making her industry more sustainable. So she offers recycling, and we just partnered with her. She's going to set up shop outside if it's nice, and hairstylists, but also just anyone who has the items at home that are listed. We have like a link to her website on our website, and we've tried to keep it all active on Facebook and Instagram so that people can link to those things pretty easily. But she's going to be here just accepting. The recycling drop-off is free. It's great to get rid of some of the maybe larger items that you wouldn't otherwise know what to do with. So.
We're joined by Tessa Benzinger, the owner of Walking Lightly, located in Ferndale, joining us on the Michigan Megacast. More information again on their website, walkinglightly.net, and you can learn more about their upcoming events as well on that website. Again, it's walkinglightly.net. Tessa, a couple minutes before we'll say goodbye today. Anything else we haven't talked about in terms of Walking Lightly or the services and the products that you provide at your business that would be important for our audience to know or keep in mind at this time?
You know, I think one of the most important things that for folks to know is just that there's no expectation of doing this perfectly. You know, it's called a zero waste store, but we don't expect anyone to not be creating any waste. And, you know, even myself and my own family, like, we create waste. We just do the best we can. So I would really encourage people to, you know, come give it a try. Maybe pick one item that you think you would like to try refilling, or a solid swap. And see how it goes, and reach out, ask questions. This is a no judgment zone for sure.
Tessa, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
More information on their website, walkinglightly.net. That's walkinglightly.net to learn more about the products they provide, what their hours are, some of their upcoming events, and much more. walkinglightly.net. We're going to take a break. On the other side, we'll come back. We'll wrap things up on this Wednesday edition of the Megacast and go over some of our new resources with some of the same previous purposes that we've had on other pages on our website at civiccentertv.com, and wrap up today's edition of the Michigan Megacast.
Who is struggling right now?
I am.
My son is.
Many are struggling with anxiety, depression, and substance use. Before it becomes a crisis, reach out to MyCal, the Michigan Crisis and Access Line, for free confidential support 24/7. Available in the Upper Peninsula and Oakland County. Just call or text 1-844-44-MyCal or chat online at michigan.gov/MyCal. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Motorcyclists are hard to see. To keep everyone safer, it's important to always look for them and know where most crashes occur. 84% of motorcycle and vehicle crashes happen on streets, not highways. And most crashes with motorcyclists occur when vehicle drivers are turning left. So before turning, especially to the left, make sure you look for motorcyclists. Then look again. It could save a life.
To Sofia and Gabriel. Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love. These stitches and threads join us together. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
72.7% of high school students get less than the recommended 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. This can cause pain, obesity, and can very negatively affect your mental health. When you have a consistent 7 to 9 hours of sleep every day, you get sick less often, lose more weight, and have better relationships with those around you. For more information about the dangers of sleep deprivation, go to sleepfoundation.org. This message is brought to you by the WBHS Digital Media Arts Program and 89.3 Lakes FM.
Can I ask you a question? Why did you get your kids vaccinated?
It was hard for them to social distance, to be isolated from their friends.
I want them to get back to school and sports games. So as a pediatrician, I recommend the vaccine to everyone I know.
The boys lost a former teammate and classmate who was only 20 years old. It's been a devastating year.
We want to get back to normalcy.
Our daughter is really looking forward to being with her friends, being a kid.
It's the Great Lakes water. And so what people do ends up in our waterways.
Flushable wipes are just evil. They should be thrown away. They're impossible to destroy, and they can cause significant problems.
One of the main things when you're cooking is to not dump fats, oils, and greases down your drains.
They stick to the sides of pipes, they stick to everything they come in contact with. Don't put it down the sink.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light.
How can I help you?
Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need. For help with food, healthcare, mental health, and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
We may come from different organizations,
but we work together to protect the Huron River for everyone.
Neighborhood storm drains carry water directly to local creeks and streams. No filters, no treatment.
Storm drains also help reduce street flooding when it rains.
So clearing storm drains and the areas nearby of trash and leaves helps keep them for rain only.
It is easy to do your part by adopting a storm drain.
Find a storm drain, check it, and clear it every month.
So keep storm drains for rain only.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
We as Michiganders feel connected to this resource in a way that I think is really powerful.
Conservation starts with a caring, committed community.
For me, it's peaceful to have a relationship with the river.
Every single one of us has a role to make sure that those waterways stay safe and healthy, being careful about what goes down the storm drain.
Just even eliminating some of your single-use plastic makes a difference.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
Welcome back to the Michigan Megacast. I'm Tyler Keefe. To learn more about the program by visiting our website at civiccentertv.com. We have a couple of different places we'd like you to go. So previously, I would be directing you to our coronavirus page for information on COVID-19 from the CDC, the MDHHS, and the Oakland County Health Division, and of course, those articles with the top stories making headlines across the Great Lakes state every morning that we do this show live. However, we've changed things up now. So if you go to our website at civiccentertv.com, at the top of the page, you'll no longer see coronavirus up there. We have transitioned that page to be called local news. So if you go to civiccentertv.com, click on local news, it's the exact same looking page as before, except we won't have all the articles going back to March of 2020. We will have just the most recent articles from this very week. We'll update that week to week. We'll clear it out at the end of each week, at the beginning of each new week, and you'll just have the articles making headlines from this week's editions of the Oakland County and the Michigan Megacast. But we still have those ever helpful links to the MDHHS, the Oakland County Health Division, and the Centers for Disease Control's COVID-19 specific web pages there on our coronavirus page at civiccentertv.com/coronavirus and on our new news page at civiccentertv.com/local-news. civiccentertv.com/local-news for up-to-date news stories from across the state of Michigan every single day. We do the show Monday through Friday. Also on our website, we still have our Megacast page, civiccentertv.com/Megacast, where if you're just tuning in and you've missed today's program, you'll have access to all the interviews with everybody that we spoke to on today's edition of the program and all of our programs back to March of 2020, as well as our full episode, so you can watch on demand at your own leisure. And in addition to that, on our Megacast page, you'll be able to learn more information about all of our partnering TV, radio, and web outlets outlets that join us from places all across the state of Michigan, and many of them are community television and radio stations. So you click on their name on that webpage. It'll take you to their specific website so you can learn more about the other original programming that they are broadcasting on their networks each day that are specific to their community. So if you're in Lake Orion or in the Lake Orion area, in the Lakes area in Oakland County, you can learn more from clicking on the Orion Neighborhood Television link or the Waterford Media Network of Waterford link. If you want to learn more about radio in Bloomfield Hills and in the Troy area, you can click on the Biff link. All of those there. And of course, if you want to learn more about My Michigan TV, including where you can download their free MyTV apps for your smartphones and your smart TV, you click on the My Michigan TV app and it takes you to our website at mymytv.com. Big thank you to our crew that makes this program possible each and every day. Calvin, our technical director, with me in the studio for the full 2-hour marathon. Our Zoom producer today is Chris at the office of My Michigan TV in Troy. And of course, the king of television, Larry Nyland, our producer, who's also out of master control, helping us on and off the air today. On My Michigan TV, Steve Lato Live is next, followed by Larry and Ronnie Live. We'll return tomorrow with a new edition of the Megacast.